During a recent live performance, Jasmine Sandless broke down in tears on stage. Without a cue, the audience stepped in to finish the lyrics for her, carrying the melody until she could continue. This graph illustrates the scale of the resulting connection. It tracks her monthly listeners surging to 25 million, fueled by Jaiye Sajana reaching #1 on Spotify's global charts. That growth has made her the most streamed female Punjabi artist globally, moving her past industry veterans like Diljit Dosanjh, Karan Aujla, and AP Dhillon. The track was created for Dhurandhar The Revenge, a massive 700 crore, or roughly $84 million, Bollywood project starring Ranveer Singh. Productions of this size usually rely on months of studio engineering and focus groups to manufacture a hit. Jaiye Sajana bypassed that entire system. The song was written, recorded, and finalized at 4 a.m. on the day of the music launch. The track functions as a rare outlier in the music business, where a few hours of intense, down-to-the-wire pressure outperformed months of safe, algorithmic planning. In the early hours of launch day, composer Shashwat Sachdev and Sandless were inside a Mumbai studio, working through the final tracks of the album. Director Aditya Dar had provided a specific mandate for the film. He needed an emotional anchor, a song that could convey raw loneliness and betrayal to ground the movie's high-stakes action. Sachdev relied on his Hindustani classical training to solve the problem. He stripped the production back to a minimal, quiet sonic landscape. This was a calculated risk. By removing the traditional wall of sound found in blockbusters, Soundless's gritty, urban vocals were forced to the front, exposing an uncomfortable vulnerability. The vocal performance was strong, but the team felt the track was still missing a poetic, Sufi lift to bridge the emotional gap. Only one artist could provide that specific sound, and he was currently in Ludhiana. Meanwhile, the final international film prints were scheduled to ship overseas in just a few hours. The centerpiece of an $84 million film now depended entirely on an artist sitting hundreds of miles away, with no time for a second take. Satinder Sartaaj received the request while he was actively preparing to leave for a live concert. Within a single compressed window, Sartaaj listened to the track, wrote his lyrics, and composed the hook on the spot. He recorded the take, sent the file to Mumbai, shut down his studio, and walked on stage. The entire sequence took exactly 15 minutes. A 15-minute window is usually barely enough time to set up a microphone, let alone record a globally resonant hit. But the speed was built on a decade of groundwork. Long before headlining arenas, Jasmine Sandless spent years selling CDs for 20 rupees to empty rooms. That intense grind developed her vocal control. Sachdev followed a similar path, spending 21 years mastering the discipline of the Sikar Gharana before adapting to the rapid production styles of Los Angeles. The miracle of the 15-minute recording is largely a myth. The speed was only possible because years of unseen training and discipline converged in one high-pressure moment. The audio files reached Mumbai just as the clock hit 0, allowing the overseas prints to ship on schedule. Almost immediately after the film's release, this 11th hour edition became the most defining hit of the entire movie. Public demand for Sartaaj's brief hook was so high that the studio was forced to quickly produce and release an extended version of the song. This chart shows the standard cycle for a major release. Pop hits are typically over-engineered, demographic tested, and polished until the raw emotion is gone. Jaiye Sajana bypassed this cycle. His traditional approach allowed the unpolished grief of the vocalists to connect directly. The track demonstrates that global resonance occurs when a foundation of rigorous discipline meets a moment of unfiltered human vulnerability.